Mic check, 1, 2. We're rocking the mic.
You don't talk that quiet. Talk your normal voice.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do with my hands.
We're ready? All right.
Colter's laugh has this booming laugh. It just echoes through
we're gonna hear
the whole
it,
office.
I feel badly about that, but I got to be me. What can I say?
Hey, everybody. My name is Trevor Hubbs with the Mule Deer Foundation podcast. Today, we're doing one of our segments on Between Two Furs.
See what you did there.
So this is where I interview our corporate sponsors, and because of their generosity, we can do all the amazing things that we do, from our conservation team to our fundraising team. Just couldn't do everything we do at the Mule Deer Foundation and the Black-tailed Deer Foundation without sponsors like Weatherby. Weatherby is also one of my favorite sponsors because Colter's one of my good buddies. And we have the unique pleasure of being joined by Luke today, who's kind of both of our bosses because he's Colter's boss, and
maybe
he sits on our board of directors for the Mule Deer Foundation. So
sure do.
You'll see a much more professional version of me than you've been seeing. But,
you be you.
I don't know if you want that. Well, first of all, I do want to thank you just officially. I know we've had some last-minute requests specific to the Black-tailed Deer Foundation in the past 4 weeks, and you guys have just always come through, super forgiving for our tight timelines, and thank you for that.
Yeah, no, not a problem. We're happy to do it. We're happy to help in any way that we can for conservation, and we're excited for what you're doing with the Black-tailed Deer Foundation, and anything that we can to support, we're happy to do.
Oh, that's amazing. And you guys do a ton of support, from outfitting us when we go to the field, like when we take veterans hunting every now and then, or when we do some new hunter stuff, or especially when our whole fundraising team needs some grease to loosen up the wallets. Like the Weatherby rifles and shotguns are the way to be.
We do a probably disproportionately high amount of business with conservation groups, not just mule deer and black-tailed deer, but all the NGOs, because at a fundraising function, most people would prefer to win a Weatherby over insert another name. You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we don't want to talk negatively about anybody else, but we have very good results with the Weatherby.
Yeah,
every time. It doesn't seem to matter what Weatherby it is. I mean, Colter, we've worked together for a couple of years, but whether it's one of your new, they're not new anymore, but they're your side-by-side English stock shotguns, or whether it's any of your rifles. Like I have one of your entry-level rifles, the Vanguard. I have the Vanguard, and it's in the 6.5 300 Weatherby. I have used it on everything from whitetails up through caribou, elk, mule deer, antelope, everywhere. I love it, and I know every time I'm in your shop, you're trying to talk me into a new gun, and I'm like, I want one, but the one you gave me, or the one I bought already, works for everything in North America. That's it's beautiful. So
yeah, we love that, and it's nice being Weatherby too. You know, we have such a rich history, 80 years now, but we're trying to do a lot of stuff in our new facility in Sheridan, Wyoming. You know, there's 140 of us that are absolutely working our tails off, and we're trying to do a lot of really cool things. So whether it's our shotguns, our side-by-sides, our over-unders, we've got a new line of inertia-driven elements, the Element 2. We've upgraded our higher-end shotguns, the Sorex, and then all the way through the Vanguards, which shoot great.
Yeah.
Our Model 307, the first new rifle in 50 years, and then in the Mark V line, everything we're doing in our building is right now is innovation, and a lot of that's due to Adam and Luke's leadership, and what they're doing is really cool, and it's something that we're all really excited about, making cooler stuff. And
it's an amazing facility. I've been by a couple times. If you haven't been by, please stop by just for the coffee table. Everything else is cool, but that zebra coffee table, like, that makes me want to go to Africa so bad.
Right.
Like, I don't even know how I would ask a modern taxidermist about it, because I could tell that it's an antique, but it's like, I want that so bad.
It feels like we should put an official plug in right here, because you talked it up pretty well. But we do have a showroom in Sheridan, Wyoming.
No.
If you're coming through, we're open. It's terrible retail hours. We're open 9 to 4, Monday to Friday. But if you do come through, stop in, say hello. Yeah.
It's worth playing hooky from work for.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. The taxidermy, like, there's not a ton of it, but what it is, it's just super high quality. It's stuff you're not going to see at a Bass Pro, Cabela's, or even a show like this where there's thousands of pieces of taxidermy downstairs right now. It's incredible. I don't know. Maybe it's just a little nostalgia because it all comes from like such a rich history of hunting, and you have that. It's not a yearbook, but it's like Weatherby through the ages that you flip through, and it's just like it is. It's Weatherby through the ages. It's great.
For sure. And it's cool to see in the showroom too. You know, we've got all the collectible guns, the first Mark V, the first, first Fiber Mark, the first Varmint Master, the first, the commemorative when we moved to Sheridan, Wyoming, and then all of our new stuff, and it's a pretty cool place.
Yeah,
It is.
it's amazing. But I mean, we can keep talking about this zebra table all we want, and I could because it's super cool. But what you guys got the new 307 that came out earlier this year, right? It's 2025 release, or was it late 24?
The 307 action came out like a year and a half ago.
But there's a brand new fancy one.
We got different models inside
Sure.
of each action. So the most recent would be the new Range XP 2.0.
Okay.
That came out in January. And it's, we call it a skip flute, where the flute kind of jumps. It's like 1 inch long flutes, and they're staggered. So it gives a really cool look. It's one of the first production rifles that use that fluting technique on the barrel.
Interesting.
Really cool paint job on the stock. It's our 307 action, which is basically Weatherby's take on a 700 action.
Yeah, it's you were walking me through it last time I was in the shop, and it seems like it's just a super cool platform altogether. Like very customizable for whatever you need it to do. It can be made to do that. Like
Before that 307 launched, the previous new action would have been 51 years prior with the Vanguard.
Sure.
And then before that, 70 years prior with the Mark V action. And both the Vanguard and the Mark V, they're kind of like a closed system. I like to describe them like an Apple. Like, they're awesome, but if you want to kind of tinker and do a bunch of stuff, you can't do a whole lot of that. So for those guys that want to play, I call it bolt action Legos.
Yeah.
The 307, since it's a standard 700 footprint, there's tons of stock options, different bottom metal options, different scope mounts, a lot more aftermarket support on the 307 than you would see on the Vanguard and the Mark V.
Oh, that's getting more and more popular. So probably entered the market at the right time with that a year and a half ago. I think.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have had it like in the middle of COVID, but it was in development. We just couldn't get it done fast enough, and then all development just got longer in the middle of the pandemic. So, yeah, that would have been ideal timing. If we had launched that in 2019, let's go.
I know, right?
And you brought that up with the development. Is that a reason? I know you guys are moving more and more and more into like all U.S. source all the time. I think is the Vanguard, the one that I have that has the barrel not from U.S. and everything else is U.S. Is that correct?
We import those barreled actions from Japan.
Yeah.
So the receiver and the barrel in their raw form, we get them just blued. Anything past that, we do. So I like to say that we import vanilla, but we ship Rocky Road.
Yeah, that's my favorite flavor.
Yeah, right. Well, and we really do too. We do a lot of the stuff at the facility there. We take this barreled action, we break it down, we flute it, we thread it, we Cerakote it, and we mount it on stocks that are either made in our facility there or hand decorated in our facility there. So we're doing a tremendous amount of work there. But the Model 307, a heavy emphasis on being made in the United States. The part on it that's not is our Trigger Tech trigger. They're made in Canada, but they're such great triggers, we kind of don't mind.
Could be the 51st state.
Right. Well, hey, there you
Soon
go.
enough.
Right.
Soon enough.
And that's true of the Mark Vs as well, made in the USA with the Trigger Tech trigger. But
one thing that's interesting, it's like a little bit of history going back. I mean, we're celebrating our 80th anniversary this year. We started in California in a different
California
era,
now.
a different California, right? I mean, that's back when John Wayne and Roy Rogers and Ronald Reagan and these other movie stars, like, it wasn't a faux pas to be a hunter or a shooter or a sportsman. And now you don't get that support from Hollywood. And we've left California in favor of Sheridan, Wyoming back in 2019. And we've been since then in a very active period of insourcing. So as we got squeezed north from LA in California, we started doing less and less because real estate got more and more expensive. It got harder and harder to get the talent that we needed to have. Colter, would you have worked for Weatherby in California?
no, sir.
I wouldn't have. It's a different animal. So since the move in 2019, we've more than doubled the size of our team. We've more than doubled our business. And to be able to say that as at the time, 75-year-old company, now to be able to, as an 80-year-old company in the last 5 years to double, like, that's pretty significant. And
Absolutely.
it's
And
awesome.
I'm sure there's much better things about working for Weatherby than being in Sheridan, but Sheridan's an amazing place to live, right at the foot of the Bighorns there. Like, you go east and you're hunting upland, you go west and you're up in the mountains. Like, that's a pretty slick spot.
It's kind of sucks, actually. Yeah. Do not tell your friends, please.
Yeah.
It's
It was
terrible.
14
Yeah.
below when we left.
Yeah.
It's cold,
Yeah.
it's windy, it's snowy.
We like to say Wyoming isn't real.
Well, when I did that tour in October, that with the elk fire was like 9 miles away, and they're like closing the highway, and people are fleeing, and you're just like, yeah, no, come look, it's gonna be great.
It was a wild
Like,
fall.
The world's ending 6 miles over there, and we're just chill right here. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes the sarcasm doesn't come across on podcasts, but Sheridan's awesome. I call it Sheradice. It's like such an awesome place. It's been so good for our company to be a Western focused hunting rifle and ammunition company, to be in the heart of hunting, like as a Wyoming resident, as a hunting resident of any state. Maybe Alaska's better, but there's not really a North American species that outside of like Dall sheep that we can't hunt in brown bears. But
Right.
Mm-hmm.
we might see that in our
That
lifetime.
might be changing,
Yeah,
yeah.
we might see that at some point. But we've got it all, and it's awesome. Awesome upland. Colter and I both big upland guys. So many awesome hunting opportunities. but like I said, Sheridan sucks. So.
Yep. Don't go there. I get it.
Don't go.
Yeah, it's let's talk a little bit about your hunting seasons. I know you were out in the field quite a bit last year. How'd that go for you?
It was great. Yeah, we got to get after it. My dad drew an elk tag that he hadn't drawn in 30 years.
Okay.
So we got actually a new rifle for him, one of our new model 307 Alpine CTs.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's the
yeah.
one where it folds, right?
No, it's not. But it's one of the stocks that Peak 44, a sister company of ours, makes called the Bastion.
okay.
A little higher cheek piece.
Carbon
Trigger
stock,
tech trigger.
carbon barrel.
Yeah, carbon barrel. All the value. So we got that and got to break that in for him, and then we went and chased the elk. We didn't find the right one, but we had a great time going out there and hunting, and then chased a lot of birds this year. So
Yeah.
had an epic season. Both the Hungarian partridges and the sharp-tailed grouse were unbelievable. And there's not a lot of pheasants locally in the Sheridan area. There's not a lot of agriculture, but there's a bird farm that releases them. But the upland game birds were just unreal this year. So
That's what it seemed like when we were out there chasing mule deer. I feel like there were sage grouse flying out of camp and Hungarian partridge running around. Again.
yeah, you said there were
Sheridan
huns
sucks.
everywhere in that area.
Yeah, I dropped these like pins. There was like 150 birds just like running across the road every
Mm-hmm.
morning. We were off this little BLM gravel road where we had a wall tent and stuff, but wild.
Yeah, my dog who's 9, she's kind of on the tail end of things, had the best season of her life. So it was pretty
that's
cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What about you? You get any good?
I got one for you. It was a pretty interesting situation. So I've got a good friend who's a writer for Outdoor Sports Group.
Okay.
And we'd been talking for a while. There's around Sheridan, there's actually a lot of landlocked public land.
Okay.
Where deeded property surround it. So you got these huge chunks that nobody can legally get to. So we'd been scheming for a while, like we could get an ultralight powered parachute, like all these different ways that we could go in. And we ended up finding a helicopter pilot to take us in. And so we helicoptered into about a 20,000 acre chunk of public land that was landlocked.
Yeah, you can't get there. Okay.
It was a weird feeling getting dropped off and realizing we're on an island. We're on a land island
Yeah.
that
Right.
we can't leave until that helicopter comes back to get us. And so with a general tag, we got on mule deer. We took some elk out of there. It was a pretty cool hunt
Did you do
experience.
like a hoist or how do you get the meat out? Just the same as if you
Yeah,
were
they
walking?
have basically a big net that on they call it a long line.
Yeah.
So they start to take off and like back up from the load.
Yeah.
From the load, and then they just drag it for a short period of time until it's fully airborne, and then they just
It's off. That's so
fly
cool.
off. So it was a pretty cool experience to hunt that island. It was BLM, so we could legally spend
Yeah.
the night, but we called Game and Fish. We called the local game warden, everybody, because
Yeah.
hey, this is not something everybody does, right? It's a different thing, but it was a really cool experience. But it was the same feeling I had in Alaska, like getting airboated somewhere, like getting dropped off 20 miles from the nearest anything. It was just like that, but we could see a highway.
Yeah.
It was
right.
so
Yeah.
wild. But we're like, we're stuck here. We can't leave until that guy comes and picks us up. But just really cool.
That's all. You going to do it again this year?
It was a really cool experience. And yes, not the cheapest thing, but We had 4 total hunters, and the cost of the helicopter split 4 ways was way less than you'd pay an outfitter.
Yeah.
And like I said, we pulled out 3 mule deer and an elk out of there, so it's pretty awesome.
All right. That's another one of the things that we talk about with whenever we do our new hunter or some of our R3 efforts is, including myself growing up in Missouri, it's Western hunting is for rich people because you have to have an outfitter. That's the thought, right? And so just working folks around this idea, like, no, you can just go do this. You can just go walk around with your Weatherby rifle and figure out how to find success. And it's, like you said, the helicopter, not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive. Like, not taking anything away from outfitters, but there's some outfitters that are charging quite a bit.
For less than the cost of a single Western big game animal outfitter fee.
Yeah.
We all 4 were able to fly in, get dropped off on a helicopter, and then we were on a DIY hunt.
Yeah.
And we had our own private 20,000 acre parcel that would be very hard for anybody else to get in on. And it was a really, really cool experience. But I think I grew up in Texas. I wasn't a Westerner. There's no public land there. I mean, there's lakes.
Yeah.
You can go fishing, but there's not a ton of public land hunting, at least around the Dallas area where I was from.
Sure.
We did some duck hunting and stuff like that, but it's all private land. Everything you got to lease. It's a big pay-to-play game down there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have that mindset across the Midwest and to the east. But you get out here to the west, and we got vast expanses of public land. And thanks to the work that Mule Deer Foundation is doing and Blacktail Deer Foundation is doing, like we're opening up more. Some of the fire restoration, like that's close to our hearts right now because of how much land burned up in Sheridan last year. But I've been going up to ski a lot, and you look at the face of the mountain just west of town in the Bighorns.
Sure.
We lost, what's the total acre count? Like 60?
It was over 100,000
Yeah,
acres
huge,
in the Bighorns on the elk
huge.
fire.
Oh,
But
it's and then you had
see that landscape,
yeah.
and it's now like it's going to end up being a good thing for wildlife, but it's going to take a little bit of effort for people to come back in there, help plant the right vegetation. But the woods were so dense before.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's going to be a good thing for wildlife in the long term. But
For sure.
yeah, it's wild.
Well, yeah, and where you were too, the Hellstraw fire.
Yeah,
that was
Hellstraw, not too terribly far.
Hundreds of thousands of acres. Yeah, it was a rough year for us, but hopefully it with the right partners and habitat projects and that sort of stuff that everybody can come together and.
It's one of those where the landscape was still smoking, and I was fortunate enough to be paid by the Mule Deer Foundation to go cover those fires and get the pictures, and we're showing a lot of the stuff that I shot at the booth downstairs. But it's like some of the landscape is still smoking from these fires, and we're out there adjusting fence, repairing fence, getting it to where when the animals do come back, they can move freely on the landscape, get connected with all this sage and this habitat, cross roads. It's the reason that we all do what we do. Both you guys on the conservation donation portion, me on the storytelling portion, especially our folks in the field physically getting their hands dirty is you can physically measure it. Like the world is better. The deer herds are better. There are bigger herds. Your kids are going to be able to shoot bigger deer than you've been able to shoot because of
That's the idea.
what's happening.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely always the dream too. It's something that we all take very personally too.
Yeah.
Like even at the company level, what's good's a hunting company if there aren't hunters in the future?
Yeah.
And that's why our commitment to conservation is so strong. Our commitment to youth is strong, and we're doing all that we can. Even on weekends, going out and doing projects with Mule Deer Foundation, with Pheasants Forever, with whomever it is, to just make sure we leave the world better than we found it.
Colter's a chapter chair for pheasants. Just
Right.
saying that out loud.
No, it's so evident. Just maybe I hope we captured it on this podcast. But anytime you have a chance to talk to Colter, stop by the Weatherby booth at any of these shows. Like you could tell, the passion just leaks out of the guy. Where it's just like, okay, he's here because he loves it. He's here because he can't not be here, and that's the exact. It's so easy to. So we had a new CEO at the Mule Deer Foundation. Like you're on the board, and it's a great guy. I really love working for him. I'm excited to see where he takes the company. But anytime you have that change and you have these fresh ideas, me and my team, Joey, and they're not uncommon for us to be up at 1 a.m. doing graphics, doing writing, like making this work. And it's so much easier to do when you're surrounded by people that have that passion. When you're just you look down and you're surprised that it's 1 a.m. and you've been working since 6 that morning, and it's like, oh wow, I could be writing about refrigerators right now, but I'm not. Look how lucky I am. Like, this is insane. Like, that wasn't sarcasm. That was genuine.
No, I mean, we have our own version of that, I think, with Weatherby, but we've got 140 passionate employees back in Sheridan that we could be going to build refrigerators.
Yeah.
or baby diapers or whatever the thing is, but we get to go and put together really awesome products that make sportsmen more effective in the field. And that's really cool. My kids say, like, have fun playing with your friends at work today.
Yeah.
I didn't have that experience with my dad when he went off to work. He was like going to the salt factory.
Oh, man.
No
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, you just walking by the paint line you have in the factory. Those guys are having more fun than I've seen grown men have with spray paint in a long time. Like, it's not spray paint. I know it's fancy paint, but it's
Chili's used to have a marketing slogan. You might remember, and we'll date ourselves a little, but monuments of inefficiency. You remember that one?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That I when I give a tour at Weatherby, I'm like, remember that Chili slogan, monuments of inefficiency? I want you to keep that in mind as we look at all the individual hand touches on the rifles. There's 140 people in our building, and there's probably close to 100 that touch every rifle that comes out.
that's what makes them special, though. It's
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like, it was like 2 hours from when I was like, hey, Colter, I have an insane request. I need a gun for the Black-tailed Deer Foundation, and I need it to be cool. Can you help me?
And I need it tomorrow, kind of thing.
Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours later, he's like, "Hey, I don't want to set a weird precedent, but I told one of my paint guys to check this out, and this is what he came up with." I'm like, "This is exactly like it was in my head, and I'm trying to describe it to Colter over the phone, and he just sends an exact picture of what I was thinking. It's perfect.
It's awesome.
So, and we're doing something cool with that, aren't we?
Yeah,
Stock?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, it's a really cool stock. It's a really cool opportunity for Mule Deer Foundation and Black-tailed Deer Foundation, and we're working on redoing some of the life member stuff. So
Yeah, so that's going to be a life membership. There's a couple options for life membership, right? And then the higher tier,
I believe
as
so,
I
yes,
understand it, comes with that rifle.
Yep. The high tier comes with the Model 307 Range SF, which we're really excited about. Great rifle, they shoot good. And then we're working on trying to find something in the middle ground, and hopefully this rifle's it. So.
Yeah, I'm not the guy you got to impress. I'm already impressed. So we'll find the people to make decisions. But I know you guys got to get back to the show floor, get back to making rifles and making money out here. But I'm tickled pink that you took the time to come, and then just for everything else you do for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for
Really
sure.
appreciate
No,
it.
we're excited to be here, and we're excited for
Thank
all
you.
the stuff you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.